How will the virus go? It runs out of people to affect. Effective medicine will reduce fatality and make it like any other common disease. Eventually, most of the people will get affected and be cured. Seems to be a probable route since effective medicines have started popping up. Now, vaccination is also a highly probable route, but this involves getting the whole world vaccinated. But this is a much safer option than letting people be affected and then be cured. So just hold on with your masks in place until one of the above happens. What's next for China? The Asian flu in 1956 killed between 1 and 4 million people worldwide. SARS in 2002 infected 8,098 and killed 774 in 17 countries. The avian flu emerged 10 years later to strike at least 1,223 people and kill 4 out of every 10 of them. Now, the milder yet more infectious COVID-19. All of these outbreaks originated in China. But why? Why is China such a hotspot for novel diseases? It's not a big mystery why this is happening. Lots of concentrated population with intimate contact with lots of species of animals that are potential reservoirs. This is a recipe for spitting out these kinds of viruses. South Central China is a noted mixing vessel for viruses. There's lots of livestock farming, particularly poultry and pigs, with limited sanitation and lax oversight. Farmers often bring their livestock to wet markets where they can come into contact with all sorts of exotic animals. The various birds, mammals, and reptiles host viruses that can jump species and rapidly mutate, even potentially affecting humans. China has to take intense measures to prevent this from happening in the future. The world cannot afford another pandemic. At the same time, people around the world should not resort to a global hatred of the Chinese people. Governments around the world should not bully the Chinese government with huge penalties. This will have really bad implications. Germany was bullied severely after World War I, which resulted in another world war several decades later. We cannot let something like that happen. Hatred for the Chinese shouldn't continue. How the world could change. E-commerce has been steadily eating up offline retails. After the pandemic, offline retail will have to find a new way to enforce social distancing to make people comfortable to return back to the stores. Quarantine has made people comfortable with online shopping. This trend could be carried forward even after the pandemic gets over, resulting in the decline of offline markets. Offline stores have a major battle to face. People's reliance on fresh meat should be reduced to bring about a global change in the way meat markets function. The Chinese wet markets where fresh wild animals were brought in for sale have been the major source of many dangerous virus strains. Frozen meat could be a way better alternative. The meat industry is bound for a major change to prevent such pandemics from occurring again. Work from home has emerged as a more economical option for several companies. Office rent and bills can be reduced this way while workers work away in the comfort of their homes. Work from home would not remain an option like it was before the pandemic began. Rather, it would be mandated for a certain period of time by the company itself, somewhat in a cyclic pattern. But again, just like the soft drinks in South India, people would resort to their regular ways after several years. Unless a government level change is imposed, people will always resort to their old ways. Social distancing norms will disappear if a nationwide law isn't implemented.